Hi, welcome back. My name is Christine Russell of Essential Sisters. I'm going to share a brief tutorial here about doTERRA's sourcing principles and why this is a big differentiator from other essential oil companies. doTERRA sources their oils from all over the world. Third world countries, first world countries, primarily third world countries. Their motto is grow the best, help the most. And this is a big differentiator from the traditional typical essential oil company, which sources their oils from themselves. So they go out and buy lots of land, they grow all their own plants, and they create their own essential oils. What doTERRA has done, in contrast, is much more challenging from a business standpoint, but provides the finest therapeutic grade essential oils and helps people on the other side of the bottle, which is called co-impact sourcing. By sourcing around the world in several third world countries, doTERRA is able to go and source the plants where the plants are native and indigenous to the area. And what that does is it gives the plant a higher therapeutic benefit for us, for the consumer. And it also gives the locals, the farmers, the families who live in those regions the opportunity to earn income. So doTERRA has come up with their methodology of sourcing called co-impact sourcing. And they've most recently created a scorecard by which they're measuring each of their farmers. Are they hitting these certain benchmarks collectively? So let me just give you a few examples. What this means is doTERRA, the average farmer owns less than 5 acres of land. So over 80% of their farmers own less than 5 acres of land. So for $1 billion company, this is a very small amount of land for each farmer. So they are partnering with truly local farmers, humans, people who have land, who need to generate income from their crops. So doTERRA is taking the initiative to go out and partner with local farmers in the region, in some cases actually forming a collective so that they can band together to create a stable price. In the case of frankincense in the Somaliland, for example, doTERRA is paying fair wages, fair trade wages. They are paying on time, in most cases same day payment. They have a same day payment system, a technology device, where the farmer, the harvester, is actually receiving payment the very same day. One of our leaders went to Nepal to see the harvesting of wintergreen and saw the women walking down the hill with the wintergreen on their backs and witnessed them being paid in that very moment as their crop that they'd harvested that day was being weighed. No one else is doing this in the industry. It's extremely powerful and shows doTERRA's commitment to people. They've also, in some cases, are providing loans to women to buy farms. There's a project in Kenya where they're loaning women money to start their own farms to produce tea tree. The women are then paying that back over time. They're then owning land and they're getting paid for their crop. I had the personal experience of traveling to Guatemala with doTERRA to see the entire process from seedling to essential oil of cardamom. And to see with my very own eyes, the co-impact sourcing process was exceptional. We flew into Guatemala City. We drove 10 hours into the mountains on a bus, into deep into rural Guatemala. And we got to see a center that doTERRA had contributed to creating called Sica Bay, which is a community where there's different families and growers who are growing cardamom. They'd also put together a training facility. They were building a center there to be educating men on how to build homes. We learned from seedling. We saw them planting, we saw them growing, we saw them harvesting, we saw them then, once they come in, kind of getting rid of all the other debris just to have the cardamom seed, taking that in bags, weighing the bags, taking the bags into Antigua, another town where it was distilled. We got to meet the distillers, who was a couple from France. They were formerly in the perfumery industry and had switched over to essential oils because it had more impact and meaning for them. And we learned exactly how the cardamom essential oil is distilled. We then learned from them that doTERRA doesn't just want cardamom. They said they love doTERRA, but they said it took them over 6 months to find the perfect formulation, because a cardamom seed has 4 phases of its life, and at those different phases has different chemical profile. And doTERRA wanted a very specific chemical profile for respiratory health. So they had to kind of, by trial and error, find combinations and permutations of these 4 phases of the cardamom seed, and they finally found it. And they now have their blend that they provide to doTERRA for their cardamom oil. And this is just one oil. The co-impact sourcing is a big part of why I'm aligned with doTERRA, why I'm proud to be part of the company. Not only are they seeking out the very best oils for us from a therapeutic benefit standpoint, but also supporting the local communities on the other side of the bottle. If you have any questions, I'm right here. I would be happy to answer them. Lots of love.